Hi, I'm Tate, the IT New Projects Head at Taters Incorporated. I'm here to demonstrate a software change we're considering rolling out enterprise-wide. Let me introduce you to Ubuntu. It's an operating system, like Windows. It provides the shell to the user, which is how you can make programs run or manage files by clicking on an icon in a GUI form, or through a command line. Ubuntu is a type of Linux, and that's an operating system that combines GUI interfacing with command line, or LUI, line user interface, usage. To use this OS, you'll be using your keyboard a lot more than with a Windows interface, and you interact more directly with the software you're running than you may be used to. We're considering switching our operating system to Ubuntu because it has shown itself to be a more cost-effective, secure, and flexible computing environment than we've experienced with Windows. Let me go over some of those points in a little more detail. A big thing to note is that Ubuntu, without support, is completely free to use. When you compare that to the cost of outfitting one machine with Windows 10 Pro, you're looking at a cost savings of $200. Add in the fact that Ubuntu comes with LibreOffice built in, and you've got another $100 a year in saving for a single machine compared to using Microsoft Office 365. When you consider the fact that our Taters enterprise relies on over 250 machines, you're looking at a savings of over $60,000. Now, before we get too far along, it's important to note that we have some options with how we want to incorporate this OS into our computing environment. Since this is a big change, we may want to opt for Ubuntu with professional support. For our basic desktops, this would cost $150 for each machine per year, with a minimum investment of $2,500 overall. That still leaves us with an initial cost of ownership savings of over $20,000 in the first year, and we can choose to cut the support string at any point. Other benefits of this OS include its open source nature, improved security, easy virtualization, and even Windows compatibility if there's a program or file format you just can't do without. Open source means that the code that makes up this operating system is readily available for review and even modification. This has resulted in the development of large repositories, which make obtaining software an easy task, and extensive libraries, which let us leverage code that can be shared by multiple applications. This open source nature also means that updating is really a cinch, often as easy as typing sudo apt-get update, which is followed by a very rapid updating process. Back to the issue of saving money. We may benefit from the lower overhead utilized by this OS than by Windows. This can mean keeping old devices serviceable for longer, or utilizing virtualization with our more powerful PCs to get the most out of their hardware. And speaking of virtualization, with Ubuntu, it's easy to roll out virtual machines. In testing, working with a computer with a 3.4 GHz processor, 16 GB of RAM, and 120 GB of storage, I was able to put together and use 5 separate virtual machines, all running simultaneously on Ubuntu, in less than an hour and at absolutely no cost. That makes it great as a build to try out without having to commit all of our computing resources to a single solution. Additionally, Linux is considered by many to simply be a more secure operating system than Windows. The benefits of this can range from less money needing to be spent on antivirus software to greater uptime for our critical systems. A few more pluses to this change include the simple power available through command line interaction and comparatively reduced data collection when compared to our current Windows model. So what does this all look like? Well, here's your standard Ubuntu desktop. As you can see, we've got icons for many of our major programs here in the left launch bar of the screen. Just like Windows, you can point and click and choose a program and navigate through its menus. But you can also right-click, select Open Terminal, and execute commands at the LUI to sort through files, modify permissions, or execute programs in a different way. One of the most important program sets we have in this build is XAMPP. Like Ubuntu, it's open source and free to use. This combination of server software, MySQL database, and PHP and Perl programming languages will allow us to share file and application services throughout our enterprise. Here I'm just going to run a quick command and a test to see if our server software is up and running. Voila, your default XAMPP homepage. Now, since we're working in an open source environment and have the ability to build, use, and manage code with the PHP and Perl programming languages, we need a pair of apps for getting down and dirty with the code. For simple tasks, like editing configuration files or handling short text files, I've chosen Vim. It has practically no memory footprint and launches from the LUI with an easy sudo vim and then the name of the text file. Happy days. Save and quit out. For more intense code-related applications, I chose to include Notepad QQ. It's a text editor that's built for use with programming languages, supports tabbed editing, and includes features like syntax highlighting and multiple selection. Here I've just brought in an example of PHP code, and I went to Language and selected PHP. And as you can see, it highlights your tags, your program commands, and your output. In addition, the multiple completion feature allows you to control-click several lines, and bam, 3 lines of text completed with 1 pass of the keyboard. For standard office operations, we have the LibreOffice suite, which includes word processing, spreadsheet functions, and presentation software. I wasn't able to find any free inventory or payroll programs that would serve a business of our size properly, so I can foresee LibreOffice Calc, our built-in spreadsheet app, serving multiple roles in our business operations. To round things out, I've included the Pigeon instant messaging app. This is a flexible program that can operate via a variety of chat protocols, like AOL Instant Messenger and Internet Relay Chat, as well as provide quick access to chat rooms for large-scale communications, or for help in a technical area, like how to use Ubuntu. Right now, I'll just go into the Pigeon app and throw together a new account. If my mouse would want to decide to cooperate. There we go. Select my channel or my protocol, make a username. Well, there, a new username to use. I would like to show you the chat rooms, but right now the app seems to be having trouble connecting to chat. For internet access, we have Firefox, which along with our open source 5 provides a very customizable browser. And Thunderbird is built into the OS to give us email service. This wouldn't be a paradigm shift without a few unique hangups and hiccups along the way. We can expect there to be some time needed for our users to get used to the new OS, particularly when using the Line user interface. Fortunately, Eli the Computer Guy has a series of free YouTube videos dedicated to helping users learn the ins and outs of the Ubuntu OS. And a quick Google search of Ubuntu how-to will answer a lot of technical questions that arise. Now, Apache has been finicky lately on this build, with the location of its local host directory, so we'll have to iron things out a little more before we can fully provide file services. And for those of you hoping to use Wine to bring over your favorite Windows apps, you may have to wait a little bit because this distribution runs into graphics errors when you attempt to use Wine staging. To recap, changing our operating system promises to be a way to save Taters Incorporated a fair amount of money while also providing flexibility and privacy. We've got some new toys to play with, including Apache, Notepad QQ, the PHP and Perl programming languages, and Pigeon Instant Messaging Service, as well as the ability to implement Bash scripts. Hopefully the transition process will go smoothly for everyone. And for you folks in IT, well, I wouldn't count on being bored anytime soon. Here are the credits for this presentation, for the images. And thank you for watching.